welcome to the Terry Pierce Show. It is that time again, Thursday night. We're trying to get started just a little bit earlier, so we're going to be starting tonight at 6:15. Each week, let your friends know. And Jeff, I know you said this about John and Paul. It's a little early, but Coach Snyder has a show at 7 o'clock, so Terry and I are trying to get that going so we can go 6 to 7, and you can listen to Coach Snyder's show from 7 to 8. So if you want the real insight, you'll be here for the Terry Pierce Show. First of all, let's hear it for Terry, if you would, for it, please. Still no, Kelsey, I know you were showing him. Can you show us the lynch mob sign so Aaron can pick it up for us, please? There you go, right there. Is that good? Is that what you need right there? That's what you need. Also want to thank KSUFans.com is who Terry and I are affiliated with. I'm your host, Dave O'Hara. We want to thank all our friends here at Kites, Matt Cox, Scott Steven, Rusty, the rest of the crew here, our friends at Coors Light who make this show possible. So please help them. They're helping you. 250 pounders of Coors Light, so get those light again. Well, Terry, it is one day, 23 hours, 48 minutes, and 57 seconds, and counting. Down Louisiana Lafayette, K-State comes knocking on their door. First of all, let's talk about UMass. On Saturday, I was just telling Chappie, I got the privilege to be on the sideline with you to watch the game. And one phrase I'll use to describe you watching the game with you. Hyper-analytical. You were the play caller on defense for K-State, as you chuckle when I say that. You were the middle linebacker, the man with the plan. With watching with you and Josh, Buell was back. It was family reunion weekend. So before we get to the game, talk about your feelings, your experiences. You get to see a lot of old cronies from back in the day, even before your day. Talk about family reunion weekend here.
Well, obviously good to, realize that you are part of a family. Once, like you said, it was like 300 guys that came back. So it was, for me, it was good to see all the guys, but not just to see all those guys, but to see all those guys and how Coach Snyder reacted to seeing, just about every single one of us. When he walked down in between the big lines that we made right before the game, the look on his face, I thought he was going to cry, and I never thought Bill Snyder to be the type of person to cry, but I thought he got a little choked up when he was walking down, and I did too with some of the guys I saw. I think I blogged about a guy that I saw that I hadn't seen since he pulled some crap on me when we were in the NFL together, a guy named Thomas Houchin. Me and Thomas used to ride back and forth from Manhattan all the way down to Fort Worth, and Sanger is where he's from. Used to ride back and forth there all the time. So, just seeing him brought back a lot of memories. He was the first person I lived with after we moved out of the dorm. So, it was a whole lot of stuff like that going on. But, to be honest, I kind of lost a little bit of that feeling once we got into the third quarter. I mean, it kind of went away a little bit, But, the guys did well up until then. But like I said, I kind of lost that feeling a little bit.
Well, the interesting thing was I got to go to the veneer with you and Josh when we first got there. And again, you get to see all the old cronies. We talked to Coach Rowe, Andre Rowe, Joe Gordon, a whole crew of former players that are now in the system program. Jonathan Beasley, you guys come back. We got a chance to talk to Paul Kaufman,
right? And
we're going to mention Paul and one of Paul's offspring here in just a little bit. So there were some comments. Okay, KSUFans.com, and Terry, you said you blog about it. I think if anything, you used an expression about one of our good friends, and also if you'd help me welcome a couple of people here tonight. We have some guests here. First of all, I always want to thank Sherry and Greg Brown for doing our video, but also our still photos. So big hand for Sherry and Greg as always, please. Thank you. And keep it going. Besides always my special guest, my daughter Kelsey and friend Greg, my nephew Aaron is joining us from Iowa this week. Aaron, he just flashed in. He's got lynch mob down for you now, see? But also Jacob and Jasmine, they are with KSU TV. And Terry and I are going to be, I don't know if I should say this. In your case, you're a good-looking fellow. You can pass it off, but I'm not sure if their camera can handle me. But KSU TV, and if you'd help us welcome Jasmine and Jacob, please. Thank you very much. And Wildcat 91.9. Now, Terry, I'm going to let you take Paul to the woodshed on this one. Now, Jeff said tonight that Paul was not able to make it for whatever reason, and the Colts aren't even playing tonight. It's the Steelers and Titans after this show. But John will be joining you in a little bit, the program director at 91.9, the Wildcat. But Jeff is also here, and Jeff, if you would, or Terry, if you would, you join Jeff on Saturday pregame and talk about when you're going to be on 91.9 the Wildcat, kind of some things you talked about with Jeff and Paul, and also John is there.
Yeah, we normally do that deal Wednesday nights Tuesday night. See, that's the problem right there. Tuesday nights around 6:30, I get on the show with the guys, and then every home game I'm going to be with the guys on for a pregame show that we'll do, whether we're going to be talking good about the Wildcats or bad about the Wildcats.
Good, bad, or indifferent.
But it'll be a pregame show, so I mean, obviously we'll give you what it is you need to be able to watch the game and watch it with some sort of information, be able to develop some sort of opinion before you watch the game.
The thing I like about that, though, is when we go to and the cool thing about 91.9 was the Wildcat, but also with KSU TV, everything's on campus, and so we go to the student union on Saturday, and I can tell you and Josh are already feeling it, and you are giving your assessments of the pregame, and you got a lot of phone calls, a lot of other types of texting or emails to the station in questions and getting ready for the game. So we talk about Family Reunion Weekend, we talk about everybody being here, our thank yous and hellos. T, let's get right to it. Let's cut to the bone. What was your assessment? I can tell you some of the things I probably shouldn't repeat that you said on Saturday. That would be unedited, and we don't have that much editing ability in our limited technological space on KSUfans.com. So give us the best cleaned up version you can of your assessment of Saturday's 21-17 UMass victory for KSU. And as you said, it was still a victory, so let's not get too negative.
Right, guaranteed, still a win. But I can say purely that I share the frustration of every single coach on our staff. You know, watching the guys play and get better from where they were in the spring, and then get as good as they were going into the game. I thought they were a pretty good team going into the game. But to see some of the things that happened, I mean, obviously with the quarterback situation, we won't get too deep into that deal. You know, I think Dave and I kind of talked about it a little bit. You know, Carson was, his first game in, and was kind of aiming the ball, which is a complete no-no when it comes to being a quarterback. And then you got, running backs did well. You got to say the running backs did well, but the biggest surprise to me was the offensive line. And I know Coach Dickey does a great job coaching, and I'd be saying this come rain or shine. I'm gonna tell you, I know Coach Dickey does a great job coaching that offensive line. And the deal that bothered me the most was they got all their assignments right. They got all the assignments right, but they didn't do it with any force. So the UMass was able to get into the backfield a lot of times. We can almost blame UMass's defensive end for Carson Cochran's cramp on the option. It was that bad. They were into the backfield all the time for the entire game. And so, and then defense, you gotta say defense did well, but 200 and whatever yards against UMass isn't a good job. Whether or not it looks like a good job, and whether or not 200 and some yards on the average throughout a season would have you as the #1 defense in the country, against UMass and what they brought to the table in the game. 200 and some yards just isn't good enough. We should have done a lot better.
Well, you touched on this when we were talking on the sideline, even after the game on the way out here and the way back to Kansas City.
I won't shut up about it, right?
Right. Well, but it's a very valid point it's great, again, watching the game with you. You pulled out your digital recorder and we're talking game notes to yourself, or at least, to replay later, so for notes. Let's think about how many drop passes that the UMass offense helped our defense out with. So it was 238 odd yards, or whatever it was, 250, a little less maybe, with yardage. Think of what they'd have done, as you and I talked about, had they caught maybe half the footballs that they dropped right in their hands. Think about that.
Yeah, it's like what USC would have done in 02 against us if Mike Williams hadn't dropped all of his passes.
But Mike Williams dropped his for a whole different reason.
Exactly. And that was the next thing I was going to say. He dropped his because he was scared that he was going to get hit.
And he got hit anyway. He dropped him.
If I had anything to do with it, but the guys from UMass just dropped the ball. A lot of guys wide open. I know Coach Cohen put in a defense that's somewhat complicated. You know what I mean? So for the guys to kind of get a hold of that defense and be able to act it out in a real game situation, probably took them a little bit longer than what it really should have.
Right.
But when it comes to playing defense, and I think I've said this to you a billion times about it, defense needs to be simple. It needs to be 6 or 7 coverages that you lean on and be able to play with it from that point on.